Moving on, there was a big back and forth discussion questioning the legality of this response. As I mentioned earlier, Dave has spent several thousands of dollars on lawyers to discuss this. But I won't get into it because I'm not a lawyer. But I will say, there was a short period of time where it was looking good for us. But all this legal talk, up until this point, throw it out the window. Don't think about it anymore. Get rid of it. Because it was discovered that although we had signed several EWC documents regarding our participation in EWC, we had not signed the rulebook itself. They just have not given that us a sign. It's not that we chose not to sign it yet. So now that this was brought into light, legally, Moonton did not have to reference any rules. They don't have to look at the rulebook anymore. They can just say, hey, it's up to them at that point. You can't do it. They gave us the middle finger, and it basically told us and that we were banned. And there was just nothing we could do about it. They would not even let us have a different NA substitute player to fly in to potentially replace and, fill up slots. They have already contacted other runner-up NA teams to potentially replace us, which is absurd because it's not even been a few hours since they told us this. They just thought right away. There's no, honestly. Now at this point, there were attempts to negotiate, can we have less penalty and make up for it with fines? Or if we could do, a bunch of content for them at EWC to make up for it. All was null and void, and nothing would change their response. Now going back to that good short period of time I mentioned, Dave had a discussion with a Moonton NA representative. In this conversation, the representative was trying to convince Dave to change his mind. Again, in this period of time, it was looking good for us. I'm paraphrasing what this representative had said, in quote, "Since other MPL regions could not do this, we shouldn't be able to either." But this is so, bro. Because there are several reasons why those MPL regions cannot do this. Contractual reasons. First, number one, is exclusivity contracts. Exclusivity contracts pay a person or company to not play other games aside from their own that are contractually obligated to, and then they pay them money not to play those other games. Lots of top creators in Asia get these to make sure they don't make content that's not on Mlbb. Moonton did this 1 year for NA after M3, and then nothing after that. We are not nearly as big as an MPL region. We don't get support at all. And look at the last few NACTs. From losing our LAN to losing our prize pool, and at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if they come to my house and they ban me from living. How can you even compare other regions' treatment and then tell us we should act the same? They're giving us all the negatives and expecting us to abide by those negatives, but they're not offering any positives, any incentives at all to even listen to those negatives, much less the negative. They haven't even stated these negatives, by the way. I do not hold Zane or Hoon accountable. Our region lacks monetary supports, and they are getting sponsors to support themselves. I doubt any other person would have refused these sponsors upfront, especially if they are obeying all the rules that we have access to. And I'm sure if they knew what results would come from this, they would have changed their minds initially. You might think it's a bad idea to make this video because it would ruin the chances for us, but look at us already, man. How could it get any worse for the North American region? No tournament, no prize pool, getting banned. And at this point, I can't take my Moonton any longer. And, I have to say something. I don't know how you can help. I doubt this video will change anything. I'm just upset at my opportunity that was unfairly taken away by childish, petty people sitting in office chairs, looking down on the small guy. I feel bad for the team. I feel terrible for SAUL and the community that have supported us. And a team that has been forced to forfeit, as a team that has been forced to forfeit their spot in a major tournament, not because of any wrongdoing or failure to comply or failure to qualify, but because of business-driven restrictions imposed by Moonton. This is a clear example of how corporate power plays and overplays fairness, override fairness, and cause real harm to individual people and players. In history, when this kind of thing happens, only the people could really change the result of it. I would really appreciate if you support us in any way, shape, or form beyond this. Like and sub, and goodbye.
So no, no, they're not big because of NA. I would say we do play a role in Mobile Legends, though. You know what I mean?
I detect the scent of prey.
Of course, we're not the biggest. Not even close. We have a role and we play it. I feel like in the whole global ML ecosystem. I feel like we do have a bit of a role. HOK really is the only gainer here. Yeah, HOK is the only gainer. HOK probably is the fattest grin on their faces right now. HOK probably is the fattest grin on their faces at the moment. You could get banned, but you and Hoon did what that was best for you guys. We've done it before with absolutely no issues. Well, they told us that we couldn't do it during NACT. I remember that. We can't take a sponsorship. When was it? There would have been like 3 months in between NACT ending and EWC. So they have control of me and Hoon's channel for 3 months, and they can decide what their competitor is or not. You're telling, like, no prize pool. Players had to pay for the boot camp just to make sure they had good MS. Gotta make sure the Wi-Fi at the boot camp is good. Gotta set up your own shit. Nobody's buying your tickets for you. And for 3 months, you can't take a sponsorship? For 3 months afterwards, you can't. You guys indirectly earn them millions of dollars? Probably, yeah. I would love to know how much exactly. Millions, though, I'm sure. Millions, yeah. And to get treated like absolute pigs. Why the hell did you delete the HOK stream? Because one of the compromises that were possibly being discussed was maybe if you guys, and I don't know if I can say the party involved that did come up with this, but one of them asked for us to hide the streams. They weren't deleted; they were just kind of hidden. And I didn't hide mine. Dave did it for me. Because at first I didn't think it really mattered much for me, but he tried and he hid them anyways. One of the parties involved said that maybe that would be a nice compromise, but obviously I didn't do shit. So if you and BTK go HOK and A players will follow, then a few community tournaments in HOK will be bigger ML than NA. You know, I actually really kind of see it, especially considering there's no M7. So unless like Dez continues and like Kesh, like who are the other streamers besides us? Dez and Kesh, and I feel like they might switch too. Better off, and first of all, Kesh is Chinese, so he can join his people over here in HOK. Dez, I don't know what he would even do. Maybe he would stay. I don't know Dez's plans, but I do appreciate Dez's post. That meant a lot to me, actually. Bajo save us all. HOK's rubbing their hands. You know, I'm sure they are. They're probably licking their lips, a stupidly fat grin on their face, you know, because they weren't one of the actual only winners of this. Because in reality, ML really didn't win. We certainly didn't win. Saul didn't win. EWC didn't win. Tencent's just chilling here. Ooh. Which, you know, ML surely knew that HOK would be, you know, the only real winner here. That's why I say, like, if they're not, ML cannot be that stupid to not see that. So it's either one of two things. Like, no, they just don't care enough about it. Because ML's not that stupid to not see that. It's obvious that ML is really HOK is the real only winner here. ML's not that stupid. They can't be. They simply cannot be. Either that or they underestimate it. But I'm sure they see it and they don't care. Or they just think that I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know. Or they just think we're all gonna come back home. Well, I'm already home, and just log on and play some more YSS. I don't know about that one, big dog. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. No, I think I don't know what they were truly expecting from all this, but you cannot just do that, man. I put up with a lot of but They probably don't care enough about her name. That's fine. That's fine. Because soon NA won't care about ML.
Unfortunately, it came down. The verdict came in from MSC and North America. Seoul, otherwise known as BTK members, have been officially disqualified from MSC. It came down. They had a post on Instagram. Here's the official announcement up there if you guys want to read it. First of all, want to cover some things here too. My last video on Friday got so popular because so many clippers went into it, and I want to say most of them were pretty diligent and honest about it, because I did my best to kind of state the facts. There was the immediate visceral response that I gave that I was kind of disappointed in everybody, including some of the players, because I was kind of like, you know, this was kind of an interesting time to do what they did. But the more and more research I did into it, the more and more people I talked with about it, the more and more information I got about it. Whereas we understood that Hoon and MobaZane were under contract that they signed and went and agreed with because they looked at the rules, and the rules didn't say anything, at least to the human eye, apparently, that there was an issue with it. So I can't really fault them for that, like I said. And of course, the whole thing about that, like, these dudes need to make money somehow, some way. We can't just sit and wait around for 6 months, not able to do anything because MSC has somehow locked them in. There was only one person I saw that some clipper that took my comments super out of context and started accusing me of not reading all the rules and trying to be a snake. And like, I know if anybody's ever watched me knows I'm a diehard North American, even to a bias, fan when it comes to stuff. There's no way I want our teams to lose or want our teams to be kicked out of anything like this. I just do my best to report on all the facts that are out there and give my reactions for stuff like that. Like I said, this is a very disappointing day. I even made a little post about it. So it's, dude, this is honestly a sad day for North America when it comes to stuff like this. There's a lot of people that are not in the know that don't understand how esports and stuff works. They just see people playing on their screen and they cheer them or they boo them, and there's just not a world developed around them. That's how most viewers look at this. But when you've been working with these guys, with a lot of these kids for as long as I have, and see what they put into this, and what, especially in North America, with all the stuff that they sacrifice, like I'm going to talk about it in my video too, but like the fact that when North America no longer had a live event, these dudes decided to go out on their own and spend money for a bed and breakfast, or for an Airbnb, so that they could be together and play like a real team to do what the game would not pay for. You know what I mean? And the sad thing is like, yeah, that worked out for BTK, but what about all these teams that didn't even make it? Cloud9, the Valley, AREA77, all these teams that went out, got an Airbnb of their own money, and they got no reward for it. Even when there used to be a prize pool for NACT, now there is no prize pool for NACT, so they all left empty-handed. And then they go out, they get sponsors by themselves, they arrange the flights, the stuff in the Philippines by themselves. There was no help. And this was something I was questioning on Friday because I didn't know all the facts there. I'm like, did Moon? Because like it would make sense. I was like, did Moonton, did they sponsor this? And that's why we're kind of reacting like this? Because that would kind of make sense. Like, I brought you here to the Philippines and you're gonna play something different. But that's not even the case. These dudes were basically on vacation, and I was a little upset. And I'm a little upset now, especially about just what this means for North America too, because the writing's already been on the wall for a lot of people who've been working in North America. We've seen a lot of the collective contacts that we had either be let go or moving on. The liaison that I used to talk to get things done with the game or with other things, she no longer works there anymore, and you would just kind of be seeing things get smaller and smaller and smaller. But like this is kind of like to a different degree right now, where now this event is it's kind of sad. Another reason too is because this was going to be, with, like I said, with the writing on the wall, this was to be looking like a nice last hurrah for North America to try to go and put themselves on the map, maybe get like third place or something to put us back in contention, maybe make MLBB realize that there is a spark in North America for them to kind of fan and create a flame out of. But that's all kind of gotten cut short now. And so for the things too, a lot of people are kind of crapping on first of all, Dave. They're trying to say that he's sabotaging things, or he always wanted this other game to succeed. But like when you understand that the most money, his whole company, the backing was from Mobile Legends. That's where most of the income came.